Cue the welcome back Cotter music. It is the Saskatoon Berries back at home for the first time in 11 days. Good evening, I'm Les Lazaruk. We welcome you to Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field as the Saskatoon Berries will play host to the Swift Current 57s, the same team they played, ironically enough, back in their last home game on Sunday, the 13th of July. Since then, the Berries went on the road, played 7 games, won 5 of them, and continue their march towards first place finishes, well, all over the place. They've clinched a playoff spot already. That was pretty much a done deal once they had winning streaks of 7, 8, and 11 games earlier in the year. But right now, the Berries, with a record of 37 wins and 7 losses, lead the East Division by 10 games over the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Let's put it in a little more perspective. The Berries have a magic number of 3. Any combination of Berries wins and Medicine Hat losses, totaling 3 between now and the end of the regular season, means the Berries will finish first in the East Division. Finishing first overall in the WCBL, definitely within the reach as well. The magic number is 6 on Okotoks, the leaders of the West Division of the WCBL. Any combination of Berries wins and Okotoks losses, totaling 6, will mean the Berries have the best record in the entire WCBL. But then there's other things to start looking at, like the best record for a team in the WCBL over a 56-game season. That's held by the Sylvan Lake Gulls from last year, 44-12 in 56 games. Berries are 37-7, certainly within their possible reach. And if the Berries could finish this year 48-8, they would finish with the all-time best record by percentage, winning percentage in league history. The Medicine Hat Mavericks were 39-7 in 2013, an .848 winning percentage. The Berries would have to go 48-8, be .857 in order to have that all-time best record by winning percentage in WCBL history. It's the Berries at 37-7 on a 3-game winning streak, 8-2 in their last 10 games, 19-2 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, and 5-1 head-to-head against the Swift Current 57s, who are 10-34 for the year, 6th and last in the East Division. They've lost their last 2 games. They're 3-7 in their last 10, and 5-18 on the road this year, as we are set for our national anthem. The umpires for tonight's game, the home plate umpire is Mark Clark. The first base umpire and crew chief is Scott Mostaway, and the third base umpire is Matt Schul. Your starting lineup for the Berries defensively will go around the outfield from right to left. In right field, it's Ethan Murdoch, the Swift Current product. Center field, Carter Beck. And the left fielder, Jalen Freeman. Around the infield from left to right at third base is Mason Rell. Shortstop, Nathan Houston. The second baseman is Cooper Westland, and the first baseman, Ethan Menard. Rudy Gonzalez is the catcher tonight, and the starting pitcher is Merrick Yeager. Merrick Yeager from Munster, Saskatchewan, making his 9th appearance. All starts. He'll be tied for second in the league in games started with this start tonight, his 9th of the year. 6'3", 190-pounder, coming off a season at Hutchinson Community College. This past year, Yeager in 8 starts previously has a 4-1 record, a 5.64 earned run average. He's pitched 38 in the third innings, allowed 45 hits, 29 runs, 24 of them earned, struck out 31 and walked 4. Merrick Yeager, right-hand pitcher, starting off tonight for the Saskatoon Berries against the Swift Current 57s. They'll lead it off with left fielder Ethan Bailey, first baseman Casey Prychak, and third baseman Wilmer Henriquez. For Rudy Estrella and the Swift Current 57s, of course, Joe Carnahan, the head coach of the Berries, in their second year of existence in the Western Canadian Baseball League. And, of course, while the team was away, the All-Star break happened, the All-Star Game Day, which next year will be an All-Star Weekend, and it'll be held right here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. That was a big announcement back last Saturday. Look forward to that in 2026. The Berries playing host to the All-Star Weekend, Home Run Derby on Saturday, the game itself on Sunday. So Ethan Bailey into the batter's box on the right-hand side. He'll face Merrick Yeager. And his first pitch coming is down low, ball 1, and we are underway at 7:01 on Thursday evening, July the 24th. Not much longer to go in the regular season. That one's down low and bounces away from catcher Gonzalez. 2-0 quickly. Yeager falls behind. Hammered into the ground, but foul. Fielded on the second hop by Swift Current head coach Rudy Estrella, who is the third base coach for Swift Current when they're at bat. 2-1 the count on Bailey. Yeager's pitch swung on and fouled off at the plate. Strike 2, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Bailey. Yeager delivers. Breaking pitch. And they're going to say no strike. Bailey checks swing, and the appeal down to first. And first base umpire Scott Mostaway says no. Bailey hitting .259, 14 hits and 54 at-bats with 2 RBI. He'll foul this one off towards the Swift Current third base dugout. Stay alive at 3-2. At .259, Bailey is above the team batting average of .246, which is second last amongst teams. This one beaten into the dirt towards short. Nathan Houston charges, comes up throwing, and is able to get the speedy Ethan Bailey for the first out. Houston had to take that ball on the edge of the infield grass and unload quickly to get the out. Now Casey Prychak, who has some fans in attendance as he's from here in Saskatoon, coming off his junior year at Wayne State College. Fouls the first pitch back for a strike. Prychak, like Ethan Bailey, Jose and Luis Ayala in the lineup tonight for Swift Current. Into their second season with the 57s. Now time called by home plate umpire Mark Clark. Now he says, let's go. 1 strike pitch. Prychak on the ground towards second. Cooper Westland fields that, throws on to first. And quickly 2 away now for Swift Current in the top of the first inning. Swift Current's offensive numbers, as I mentioned, .246 batting average, .697 OPS, on base plus slugging. Those are both 11th out of 12 teams in the league. They've stolen the fewest bases of anybody in the league with 21. Yeager's first pitch and a swing and a miss on a breaking ball to Wilmer Enriquez, the dangerous third baseman for Swift Current. 30 home runs for Swifty. They're 10th out of the 12 teams in that department, and 10 of the 30 home runs off the bat of this guy. But Henriquez hits a 2-hopper towards first. Ethan Menard will field it and touch the bag for the third out. 3 ground ball outs for Merrick Yeager in the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors, and nobody left on base. After a half an inning, it is Swift Current nothing And the Saskatoon Berries coming to bat as you're watching Berries Baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the first inning, Saskatoon Berries coming to the bat for the first time against Brody Bornstein. We'll tell you more about him in a moment. Let's take a look at the Swift Current defensive alignment. In the outfield from right to left, Braxton Vales in right field, Jose Ayala in center, and Ethan Bailey in left field. Around the infield at third base, Wilmer Enriquez. At shortstop is UGMI. Second baseman, Enrique Reyes. And the first baseman is Casey Prychak. Luis Ayala is the catcher tonight. And the starting pitcher is Brody Bornstein. Bornstein from Orinda, California, coming off a redshirt freshman season at Hawaii Pacific University. 6'1", 160-pound right-hander will make his 15th appearance of the season and his fourth start. He has 3 losses, an ERA of 9.00, 31 innings pitched, 37 hits allowed, 39 runs allowed, 31 of them earned, 30 strikeouts and 12 walks. Brody Bornstein, right-hander. Looks like he throws 3/4 overhand for a delivery, and he'll face Carter Beck, Ethan Menard, and Mason Rell for the Berries to start off this game. Beck hitting .368, 50 hits and 136 at-bats this season. He is number 10 in the WCBL in batting average. In fact, the Berries have 5 of the top 10 hitters from their team in the league. Bornstein's first pitch, breaking ball outside, ball 1. Beck has 8 home runs and 37 RBI. And now, quickly out to the mound is catcher Luis Ayala to talk things over with Brody Bornstein and says, okay, you cost me up there. I wasn't expecting that pitch from you when I put down the sign that I gave. At least that's what I would assume it is when you have that sort of a conference right away this early in the ball game. Beck from Carnduff, Saskatchewan, of course. Attended Carnduff High School. 1-0 pitch coming from Bornstein is in for a strike. Berries as a team at the plate lead the league in batting average at .325. Swing and a miss on an off-speed changeup. 1-2 the count on Carter Beck. Berries also lead in OPS at .910. Part of that is due to the fact they've hit 52 home runs as a team, which is first in the league. 1-2 pitch to Beck is outside and low, 2-2. And the Berries are second only to Okotoks in stolen bases with 115. That's quite a disparity between second place and 12th place. 115 steals, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Bornstein strikes out Beck on a 2-2 pitch. 1 away. As I was saying, Berries have 115 steals as a team, and Swift Current only has 21. Here comes the league leading batting average in Ethan Menard coming to the plate. He's hitting .412, 56 hits in 136 at-bats, a league-leading 11 home runs, and 35 RBI, which is 10th in the league. Right-hand hitter. First pitch on the inside corner, strike 1. Menard's also tied for fourth in the league in runs scored with 44. Pops this one up sky high. This one into foul territory towards third base, and Henriquez, 10 feet into foul territory, makes the catch. And there's 2 away for the Berries here in the bottom of the first inning. It'll bring up Mason Rell, the third baseman. Rell hitting .344, 45 hits and 131 at-bats. 2 home runs and 26 RBI for the third baseman. From West Bend, Wisconsin. Bornstein's pitch, breaking ball, inside, ball 1. Nathan Houston, the shortstop, on deck. Bornstein set to deliver. Rell tried to hold up and check his swing, could not do so. Strike 1. Brody Bornstein with a 3/4 overhand delivery. Different arm angle than what maybe some guys are used to seeing, although there's a few guys around the league that throw 3/4. This one on the ground towards short. Big hop, am I? Can't find it. It's in behind him and dribbling into short center field with Jose Ayala coming in to cover up. We're going to call that an error on the shortstop, Yuji Amai, who came in, and that second hop didn't come up as high as he thought it would. Hit him in the left leg, and he's flexing that left leg a little to take the pain out of it. So now it's Nathan Houston coming up to bat. A throw over to first to check on Mason Rell. Rell capable of stealing a base or 2. Pitch down low from Bornstein. 1 ball, no strikes. Houston hitting .315. 52 hits and 115 at-bats. 2 home runs and 32 RBI. Fouls the pitch back. 1-1. Rell at first will draw another throw from Bornstein with the 1-1 count. Mason Rell has 10 stolen bases without being caught so far this year. Big lead for Rell at first base. Does not go. Houston on a breaking ball bloops this one into left field. Coming on Ethan Bailey. He'll make the catch, and that is the end of the bottom of the first inning. No runs for the Berries in the bottom of the first. No hits. 1 Swift Current error and 1 runner left on base. After an inning, we are scoreless here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Nope, no hit. No. Yeah, but that was because of the error. That's all right. Top of the second inning, you're good right now. Oh, get the out of there. Do that again. And one more time, and then to change the inning back. And now up, one. There you go. You're good. Top of the second inning coming up here for the Swift Current 57s. The middle of their order will face Merrick Yeager, who's on the mound for the Saskatoon Berries tonight. This is Yeager's first appearance of the season against Swift Current. He'll face Jose Ayala, who's hitting .281. Center fielder for the 57s. Yeager's first pitch is down low, ball 1. 1-0 pitch coming. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Strike 1, 1-1. Ayala has 45 hits and 160 at-bats. 6 home runs and 30 RBI. Lifts a little looper towards right field, but coming over to his left to make the catch in short right field is Cooper Westland, and there's one away. It'll bring up the right fielder Braxton Vale. Mentioned Yeager has not pitched against Swift Current this season, but he did pitch an inning in relief last year here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field in a 6-0 Berries victory over the 57s. Way back in August the 2nd of last year, facing 3 batters and striking out 2. Vale shows bunt, takes it outside, ball 1. Braxton Vale hitting .242. 29 hits and 120 at-bats. A home run and 16 RBIs. It's a line drive into right field. Ethan Murdoch in a couple of steps, looking into the sun, but makes the catch. And there's 2 away. Mentioned looking into the sun. Let's have a look at the current weather conditions as we have them here. Mostly cloudy skies. I would call it partly cloudy. High cloud, if anything, here in around the Next Gen Patch Cairns Field location. 27 degrees Celsius. First pitch to Luis Ayala, the catcher, is in for a strike. South-southeast wind 11 kilometers per hour, so really not much of a factor. On the knees set for strike 2 to Luis Ayala. Flags atop the right field scoreboard here in Saskatoon, barely fluttering. Now Luis Ayala on that breaking pitch. Foul. That one hooks just foul down the left field line. And the count holds at 0-2. Enrique Reyes, the second baseman, on deck for Swift Current. Luis Ayala hit .319 this year so far. He's got the best batting average on the 57s. 36 hits and 113 at-bats. 2 home runs and 13 RBIs for the product of Panama City, Panama, coming off his senior year at Fort Hays State. And yes, he and Jose are brothers. This one's chopped back to Yeager, who let it drop. Now throws high. Menard catches the ball and ends up touching the base before Luis Ayala could get to the bag. A little bit of a collision, but all is okay. Ayala fisted that one back towards the mound, and Yeager looked up into the sun and lost it briefly, but found it after it bounced. And then his throw was a little high, and a good play by Ethan Menard to go up and get it and then come down on the bag for the out. Nothing across again for Swift Current in the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base after an inning and a half. We are scoreless, Saskatoon and Swift Current, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the second inning coming your way here from Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. No score as of yet. We have yet to have a base hit. There's been an error to Swift Current that allowed the Berries to get a man on. in Mason Rell in the bottom of the first inning, but he was stranded. Brody Bornstein on to face Ethan Murdoch, Corey Waters, and Cooper Westland here in the bottom of the second inning. All three hitting over 300. In fact, the first 7 batters for the Berries all hitting over 300. And again, the Berries as a team hitting 325. Bornstein's first pitch is fouled off into the screen by Ethan Murdoch. Strike one. Swift Current product Murdoch hitting .308, 48 hits and 156 at-bats, 7 home runs, 45 runs batted in. The RBI total is 3rd in the league. Down low with a breaking ball, 1-1. 7 home runs is tied for 10th in the league. Murdoch leads the league in sacrifice flies with 7. No chance to get one here as there's nobody on base. Lifts a pop-up into shallow center field. Yuji Amai, the shortstop, calls off the second baseman, Enrique Reyes, to make the catch. And there's one away, and it'll bring up Corey Waters. The designated hitter tonight, Saskatoon product, making his way to Winthrop University in Rock Hill, South Carolina this coming winter. Played the last 2 years at Mid-Plains McCook. First pitch, breaking ball at the knees, strike one from Brody Bornstein. Swing and a miss on another breaking ball. Waters behind 2 strikes, hitting .376. 53 hits and 141 at-bats, 9 home runs, 33 RBI. Tied for 4th with the 9 home runs. Fastball is just high. Ball 1, 1-2. The .376 average has Waters in 8th spot in the league. Breaking pitch in on the hands, fouled back. Waters stays alive at 1-2. Bornstein ready to deliver a 1-2 pitch. This one hit in the air, straightaway center field. Jose Ayala drifts back a couple of steps, but is there to make the catch. And there's 2 away. So now Cooper Westland, the second baseman, coming up. Westland, number 7 in the WCBL in batting average at .379. 39 hits in 103 at-bats. A home run and 13 runs batted in. Playing second base tonight with Abiam Medina not in the lineup. First pitch down low, ball 1. Westland out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Breaking ball outside, 2-0. First time so far in this game that Bornstein has fallen behind 2-0. Bornstein ready to go with a 2-0 pitch. Down low, 3-0. Jalen Freeman, the left fielder, is on deck for the Berries. Westland, 5'9", 165 pounds, mentioned from Lincoln, Nebraska. Went to Lincoln North Star High School. 3-0 pitch, he takes all the way, and that's in there for a strike. We've mentioned all the Swift Current batting numbers as Westland fouls that back, and now the full count is full. Swift Current's batting numbers are 11th, 11th, 12th, and 10th that we went through. Pitching numbers are almost exclusively 12th and last in the league. Team ERA 7.97. 324 batting average against. A whip of 1.98, so nearly 2 runners reaching by a combination of walks and hits per inning pitched. 302 strikeouts. Westland with a line drive into center field, but there to make the catch is Jose Ayala, and it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the second inning for the Berries. No runs, no hits, no swift current errors, nobody left on base. We've got a pitcher's duel shaping up here so far tonight at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. We are scoreless through 2 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Well, that's all right. Sure. Yeah. It's okay. Bottom third of the Swift Current order getting their first shot at facing Merrick Yeager tonight. Here in the top of the third inning, it'll be Enrique Reyes, the second baseman, Silas Hilton, the designated hitter, and Yuji Amai, the shortstop. Reyes from Mississauga, Ontario, coming off a college season at Bunker Hill Community College, left-handed hitter. Actually, he's a switch hitter, it says. So he'll bat left against the right-handed pitching Merrick Yeager. First pitch is down low, ball 1. And now the fans behind home plate wanting favorable strike calls from Mark Clark, the home plate umpire. Down low, ball 2, 2-0 to Reyes, who's playing in just his 7th game with the 57s this year. 3 for 21. Foul the pitch off at the plate. 2-1 the count. That one takes a bite out of catcher Rudy Gonzalez. He's okay. One double for Reyes. No RBI as of yet. Merrick Yeager rocks into a 2-1 delivery. Breaking pitch outside, ball 3, 3-1. That means 3 for 21. Reyes' batting average is 143. Broken bat towards second base. Westland on in time to first as Reyes was losing all kinds of equipment on the way as well to first base. He has to pick it all up there. Elbow pads and the like. He's out, 1 away. Silas Hilton, the designated hitter, coming up. Right-handed hitter. Normally plays in the outfield, but DHing tonight, hitting .273. 41 hits and 150 at-bats. First pitch swinging, lifts a little line drive into left field. Humpback liner that drops in fair. Jalen Freeman over to the line to pick it up and get it back in. And that is our first safe base hit of the night. And it'll go to Silas Hilton of the Swift Current 57s. So 1 away here. And Yuji Amai, the shortstop, up. Right-handed hitter. Shows bunt. Takes the first pitch inside and low, ball 1. Amai from Chiba, Japan, coming off his freshman year at Olympic College. Hilton, good speed at first. Pitch down low from Yeager to Amai is 2-0. Hilton has 4 stolen bases. Been caught twice. 2-0 the count. In for a strike. 2-1. Imai is hitting just 100, 2 hits and 20 at-bats so far. Fouls that off, 2-2. Does have 3 RBI to go along with those 2 hits. Playing in just his 8th game since joining the 57s. So some late arrivals. Toss over to first. And Hilton back in time. Now, ball being sent across after being fouled off. Home plate umpire Mark Clark says time back in. And Imai swings and misses and strikes out. First strikeout of the night for Merrick Yeager. 2 away in the top of the 3rd inning, and left fielder Ethan Bailey coming to the plate for the 2nd time. Grounded out to short his first time up. 2nd-year man out of Swift Current, hometown kid. Big swing and a miss, strike 1 from Ethan Bailey. He's 1 for his last 15 at the plate. Looking to get something done about that here right now. Chop towards the pitcher's mound. Charging in is Westland. Underhands to first. And in time, according to first base umpire Scott Mostaway. That was a bang-bang play at first on a bouncing ball that wasn't overly hard hit. But Bailey is retired. And that's the end of the top of the 3rd inning. For Swift Current in the top of the 3rd. No runs on 1 hit. There were no Barry's errors and 1 runner left on base. After 2.5, it is scoreless between Saskatoon and Swift Current as you're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the 3rd inning upcoming. Scoreless, Saskatoon Berries, Swift Current 57s. Brody Bornstein has had a pretty good start to the game tonight. Has yet to give up a hit. Just 1 base runner so far with a strikeout. He'll face Jalen Freeman, the left fielder. Catcher Rudy Gonzalez, and at the top of the order for Carter Beck. Beck, the lone strikeout victim for Bornstein, back in the 1st inning. Jalen Freeman coming to bat against Brody Bornstein. Left-handed hitter out of Houston, Texas. Hitting .287 on the year. 37 hits and 129 at-bats. First pitch outside, ball 1. Freeman has 1 home run and 25 RBI. The home run was the last time the Berries played here against Swift Current. A shot off the right field foul pole. On the ground towards the middle of the infield. Gloved by Enrique Reyes. The throw on to first. And taking off the bag, trying to stretch is Casey Prychak, with Freeman racing down towards first base. And they're going to give him an infield hit. An infield hit for Jalen Freeman, who might very well have beaten it out had that throw been on the bag. So Freeman on first with a leadoff single, the first hit of the game for the Berries. It'll bring up Rudy Gonzalez, the catcher. Gonzalez playing for just the 9th time as they throw over to first to check on Freeman, who's definitely a candidate to steal a base. He has 14 of them which is tied for second most on the Berries. Behind Evan Janner. Now they've got Freeman as he took off a little early. Prychak with the ball over to shortstop Imai. Back to the pitcher Bornstein. They're racing him back to second. Now Reyes with it. Reyes back to the catcher Ayala. This is still going on. The throw over to second. And now he's awarded second base. There's a person in the way. The man was in the baseline. The fielder in the baseline. Freeman had to go around him, and he was immediately given second base by the third base umpire who was there watching this all go down, Matt Shula. So Freeman gets second because of infielder interference. Put that one down on the online stat sheet. How do you figure that one out? There's some things that happen in the game of baseball that defy online stuff. But now Freeman on second. And this is going to be the first pitch to Gonzalez. And it's in there for a strike. Rudy Gonzalez playing in just his 9th game this year. Hitting .238, 5 for 21 for the product of Edinburgh, Texas. Reyes, the second baseman, hanging around second quite a while before dodging back to his position. And now the pitch by Bornstein is inside 1-1. Top of the order, Carter Beck is on deck. Beck on deck. I'm a poet and I know it. 1-1 delivery, swung on and missed, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rudy Gonzalez. I don't know if you call that an error on that play that allows him to get to second base. I think that's just one of those things that happens in baseball that you really have no explanation for. It's not a stolen base. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gonzalez is down for the first out. And it'll be Carter Beck at the top of the order now. Beck has 37 RBI, has a chance to bring one in here. He is tied for 7th in the league in that department. First pitch hits Beck on the left leg, right about where the ankle guard is. He'll toss the bat aside and head down to first base. Hit by a pitch for the 3rd time this season is Carter Beck, and now it's Ethan Menard coming up. Menard fouled out to the third baseman Enriquez his first time up. Ethan Menard is on a 16 game hitting streak. That's a pretty significant amount, to be sure. 31 hits in 77 at-bats, hitting .403 in that time, with 4 home runs and 14 RBI. Freeman takes off for third. Here's the throw down, not in time, and taking second on the double steal is Carter Beck. Second and third now with 1 out. And the first pitch was a strike to Menard. So now the infielders are in at the edge of the infield grass. Menard, check swing. And is it a ball or is it a strike, Mr. Clark? Put a ball up on the scoreboard. We'll do the same on the score sheet. We'll do the same thing on the display that you see on our screens. So adeptly handled by my wife. 1-1 pitch inside 2-1. 1 away, bottom of the 3rd inning. Berries with 2 men in scoring position. Infield in for Swift Current. Brody Bornstein with a 2-1 pitch upcoming to Ethan Menard. On the ground, slowly towards third. Enriquez comes home. He overthrows the catcher. In to score is Freeman. Coming around to score is Carter Beck. And Ethan Menard is into second base. Wilmer Enriquez, the third baseman, came home on the slowly hit ground ball towards him and overfired the target. Two runners come in to score, and Menard is all the way around to second base on the second error of the game by the Swift Current 57s. And the Berries have scored twice. And now Swift Current's pitching coach, Kenny Jinks, going to come out and have a word with Brody Bornstein and tell him, okay, you're pitching fine. It's the defense behind you letting you down right now. Been an interesting play at the plate, though. Had Henriquez's throw been on the target, how close that would have been. Would Freeman have been in or not? But it's a moot point as he slid in safely, picked himself up and got out of the way as Carter Beck came charging around third base and all the way from second to home on the play. So now Mason Rell is the batter. Menard at second, still one away here in the bottom of the third. Swing and a miss by Rell, strike one. Mason Rell reached on an error back in the first inning. He's on a 4-game hitting streak. 6 for 14 in that time with 3 RBI. Menard, big lead off second base, his secondary lead. And a pitch outside. 1-1. Nathan Houston, the shortstop, on deck. Reyes. Well, they whirled and did not fire, did Bornstein, as Reyes is hanging around second base for quite a long time. Menard dancing around, and Bornstein steps off again. As Menard doing that, getting the kind of lead he has, is distracting Bornstein, to be sure. Down low with a pitch, 2-1. Couple of stolen bases already in this half inning for the Berries, putting the season total up to 117 for the year as a team. At the knees for a strike, 2-2 to Mason Rell. Rell, like Carter Beck and Zach Laird, attended Indiana State, coming off his freshman year at Indiana State, where he hit 274. Now the pickoff attempt. Rell and Menard able to get back. The throw had him as he was moving towards third. Bornstein had him picked up, but Reyes, the second baseman, dropped the throw, and by the time he picked it up again right around the bag, Menard was able to scramble back. 2-2 the count. On the ground towards the second baseman, Reyes. Big room service hop to him. He'll throw on to first. Menard with a big turnaround third, as Prychak, the first baseman, had to move out towards right field to take the throw, and his momentum carried him that way. So now 2 away, and Menard on third base. It'll bring up Nathan Houston. Houston flew out to left field back in the first inning. Bornstein's pitch hit on the ground to short. Amai takes the one hop, throw across the diamond in time, and that retires the side. But for the Saskatoon Berries in the top of the third inning, 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 Swift Current error and 1 runner left on base. We've played 3 complete. It's the Saskatoon Berries with a 2-0 lead on the Swift Current 57s as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Let's take a look at the unofficial line score through 3 innings for the Saskatoon Berries. 2 runs on 1 hit. They have not committed an error and left 2 runners on base. For Swift Current, no runs on 1 hit. They've committed 2 errors and left 1 runner on base. Prychak first pitch swinging here in the top of the 4th. Fly ball right field. Ethan Murdoch will chase it down at the edge of the warning track and make the catch for the first out. Prychak now 0 for 2 on the night. It'll bring up the third baseman, Wilmer Enriquez, against Merrick Yeager, who will unofficially throw his 35th pitch of the night with his first delivery to Enriquez, who grounded out to the first baseman Menard his first time up. Takes a strike there on a breaking ball. Yeager ready to go again, rocks into the delivery, hits a foul ball out of play down the right field side towards the batting cage here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Foul back to the screen. Count holds at 0-2. Two-strike pitch is inside, and Enriquez almost moved himself into that breaking ball. He has hits in 3 of his last 4 games, but he strikes out there. Swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 2 of the night for Merrick Yeager. 2 away. Brings up Jose Ayala, who popped out to the second baseman Cooper Westland his first time up. Second-year center fielder Jose Ayala out of Panama City, Panama, like his brother, as that's a foul tip, strike 1. Luis Ayala, the catcher, Jose Ayala, the center fielder, are brothers from Panama City, Panama. Pitch up high, ball 1, 1-1. Jose Ayala coming off his senior year at Grace College. Fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jose Ayala, who comes into the game on a 4-game hitting streak. 7 for 16 in that time coming into tonight. 7 for 17 now, just over a 400 average. Up high, 2-2. Jose Ayala with a home run and 7 RBI in those 4 games. Swing and a miss. Dropped away. Gonzalez throws towards first, and while they'll call him safe, I thought Menard might have tagged him on the foot before he got to the bag, but Ayala reaches first as the ball got away from Rudy Gonzalez on strike 3, and so 2 away remains. Was they calling that a pass ball or a wild pitch? I would assume pass ball, and that's what it'll be. So strikeout number 3 for Yeager, but he's not out of the inning. He'll face Braxton Vale, who takes the first pitch strike on the outside corner. Vale flew out to right field his first time up. Big lead for Jose Ayala. Up high, ball 1 on a breaking ball to Vale. 1 for his last 10 with 3 RBI in that time. Breaking ball down low, 2-1 from Yeager. Jose Ayala has 4 stolen bases. Been caught twice. Big lead. On the ground up the middle, and it would be knocked down by Cooper Westland towards the shortstop position where Houston will track it down. That'll be a base hit for Braxton Vale as Westland tried to stab it backhanded but couldn't come up with the ball. Diving to his right. So now runners on first and second with 2 away, and Luis Ayala, who hit the little nubber back to the pitcher Yeager, and luckily for Merrick Yeager, he lost the ball in the sun initially, and then secondly, his throw was high and handled by Ethan Menard. A first pitch strike this time around to Luis Ayala. 2-0 Berries here in the Top of the fourth inning. Foul down the third baseline. 2 strikes on Luis Ayala. He was 3 for his last 15 with 2 RBI over 4+ games. Brother Jose on second. Braxton Vale on first. 2-strike count here to Luis Ayala. Fastball in there for called strike 3, and that ends the inning. 3 strikeouts for Yeager in the inning, but one of them ended up being on base because of the passed ball, but it does not hurt the Berries. No runs, 1 hit. There were no Berries errors, and 2 runners left on base. After 3.5, it's Saskatoon 2, and Swift Current no score, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Ethan Murdoch, Corey Waters, Cooper Westland due up against Brody Bornstein here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Saskatoon Berries with a 2-0 lead on the Swift Current 57s. At Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, one of several games in the WCBL this evening. A couple of double headers on the go today as they try to catch up. Couple of first game finals. Energy City Cactus Rats defeated Sylvan Lake 9-1 in Spruce Grove, Alberta, and the Brooks Bombers outscored Fort McMurray 8-5 in first games of doubleheaders. Second games still to come. Elsewhere tonight, bottom of the second inning, Medicine Hat leads in Moose Jaw 2-1. And in Lethbridge in the bottom of the second inning, the Bulls lead Regina by a score of 2-0. That's elsewhere in the WCBL. Brody Bornstein ready to deliver to Ethan Murdoch to get things started in the bottom of the fourth inning. Low and away, ball 1. Murdoch popped out to the shortstop Imai back in the second inning. Murdoch brings a and that one's down and away, ball 2. Bottom of the fourth inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Murdoch on a 3-game hitting streak coming into tonight. Modest streak, but y'all got to start somewhere. 4 for 9 in that time with 8 RBI. Productive at-bats, to be sure. And he's got a 3-0 count now as Bornstein falls way behind. Shadows creeping up over most of the infield now from our main building here. That's outside, and a 4-pitch walk puts the leadoff man on base. Swift Current product Murdoch, who has 10 stolen bases, will be on first. They'll bring up Corey Waters, who flew out to center field. Basically just flicked his wrists at the ball because he looked like he was a little bit fooled on that pitch back in the second inning. Hit it out to medium depth, medium to deep center field where Jose Ayala made the catch. Murdoch jumped off the bag with a lead and draws a throw from Bornstein. Waters 5 for 15 in his last 4 games plus. Here's a line drive into left center field. That one will be cut off before it gets to the wall, but he'll get into second base, and stopping up at third is Ethan Murdoch. A double for Corey Waters. Runners on second and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Cooper Westland the batter. Westland flew out to center field to Ayala his first time up. And now the infielders will come in again. Bornstein ready to deliver. Hit on the ground towards short. Imai looks everybody back, throws over to first in time. One away. Runners hold their spots. Ethan Murdoch at third, Corey Waters at second, Jalen Freeman coming up. He reached on an infield hit back in the 3rd inning and scored the first run for the Berries. Couple of ducks on the pond for him. 3 for his last 18 in 5+ games. First pitch down low, ball 1. Freeman with 3 RBIs in those last 5 games. Chance to increase his RBI total on the year from the 25 that he has. Coming off his senior year at Eastern New Mexico. On the outside corner for a strike. Rudy Gonzalez, the catcher, on deck for the Berries. Up 2-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Again, the infield in. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off at the plate. 1-2 the count on Jalen Freeman. Fans exhorting Freeman to get her done here. Get her done, son. Bring home a couple more. Double up that lead if you can. 1-2 pitch upcoming. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout there for Brody Bornstein, his 3rd of the evening. 2 away, it'll bring up Rudy Gonzalez, who struck out back last inning. He'll take the bat from Jalen Freeman. The community stick being used by at least a couple of guys. Gonzalez, coming off a couple of years at the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley, which is located in Edinburgh, his hometown in Texas. First pitch on the inside corner, strike 1. Of course, infielders drop back now with 2 away. Just need the out at first base to get out of the inning if they can pull it off. Brody Bornstein trying to dig himself out of a jam. This one's going to be lined into left field, base hit. 1 run in. Waters around third, heading for home. The throw home is down low outside, and in the throw to second, and Gonzalez takes second on the throw. A 2 RBI single for Rudy Gonzalez, as the throw from left fielder Ethan Bailey was on the first base side of home plate. And it drives home a couple, making it 4-0. And Gonzalez advances to second on the throw, so back to the top of the order for Carter Beck. For Gonzalez, those 2 RBIs doubles his season total to 4. Doubles the lead to 4-0. And Beck's first pitch swinging, hits a fly ball to center field. Jose Ayala went back, got turned around a little, but catches the ball just short of the warning track to end the inning. But the Berries do score 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th on 2 hits. There were no Swift Current errors and 1 runner left on base. After 4 complete, it is the Saskatoon Berries 4, Swift Current 57's no score. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Top of the fifth inning coming up. 4-0 Saskatoon Berries with the lead. Marek Yeager with a lead to work with. Looking for his fifth pitching victory of the season. 4 wins ties him for fifth place in the league. He'll face the bottom third of the Swift Current order, starting off with second baseman Enrique Reyes, who grounded out to the second baseman Cooper Westland his first time up back in the third inning. Breaking ball on the outside corner, strike one. Silas Hilton, the DH. Shortstop Yuji Amai due up this inning. Pitch down low, 1-1. That's the first base coach heading over late. Swing and a miss as Reyes got fooled by the breaking ball. The off-speed pitch was way out in front of that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed again, and that's strikeout number 5 for Marek Yeager. He's struck out 4 in the last inning and a third, including the one that got away from catcher Gonzalez and allowed Jose Ayala to reach base. Silas Hilton, who singled back in the third inning, extended his modest hitting streak to 4 games, during which he's 5 for 14 now with 2 RBI. First pitch swinging, little line drive, caught at the shoe tops by Mason Rell for the second out. Hilton not waiting. That's the second time that he has first pitch swung in this game. Single last time up, line out there, and it'll bring up the shortstop Yuji Amai, who struck out his first time up. Marek Yeager rocks into the delivery. Amai showed bunt, and they're going to appeal down to first because they called that a ball. So 1-0 the count. Shows bunt again. This time it's in there for a strike. When your batting average is below 100, it's probably not a bad idea to show bunt every once in a while. Maybe try to bunt your way on. Oh, they call a strike on that one. Down and in it looked to be, but a strike call from home plate umpire Mark Clark. Now 1-2 the count. And Yuji Amai goes for a short walk back in there and fouls that pitch off to the screen. 1-2. Ethan Bailey, the leadoff man, left fielder, is on deck for Swift Current. Marek Yeager looking to get through this inning. 1-2 pitch. Curveball hit high in the air. Shallow left field. Jalen Freeman is there. He'll make the catch, and it is a 1-2-3. Top of the fifth inning for Swift Current. Third time tonight that Marek Yeager has retired the 57s in order. No runs, no hits. No Berries errors, no runners left on base. After 4.5, we're halfway home. It is Saskatoon 4, Swift Current nothing, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. That's good. Good jobs. I'm sure it's fine. Sure it's good. Bottom of the fifth inning. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the lineup for the Saskatoon Berries, coming up to face Brody Bornstein. who's actually had a pretty decent night so far. The two-base throwing error that allowed 2 runners to score back in the 3rd inning. Not entirely his fault. A couple of unearned runs. The last inning, a leadoff walk and double, and then a 2-out single by Rudy Gonzalez to bring in both those runners would be of his doing. But unofficially has thrown 57 pitches heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. Ethan Menard coming up. That 16-game hitting streak is on the line. He's 0 for 2. 5 for 13 head-to-head against Swift Current this year. If I keep the calculator up on my laptop, I can tell you that 5 for 13 is a .385 average against Swift Current. First pitch swinging, foul past the 57's third base dugout, strike 1. The WCBL's leading hitter, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Inside, ball 1, 1-1. From Opelousas, Louisiana. On the inside corner, strike 2, 1-2. Ethan's family is here. Mom, dad, siblings. I only know that because I'll give a shout out to grandfather Knowlton Menard down in Louisiana, who I think wishes he were here, as there's called strike 3. That's strikeout number 4 for Brody Bornstein. Ethan Menard sent back to the Berries' first base dugout. Mason Rell to the plate, 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the 1st inning, grounded out to 2nd in the 3rd. Hitting .500 head-to-head against Swift Current. I can do that math. It's 11 for 22, including the 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch on the inside corner, breaking ball, strike 1. Rell has a home run and 6 RBI against the 57s. Head-to-head this year. Bounced in, ball 1. Nathan Houston, the shortstop, on deck. Bornstein ready to deliver. 1-1 pitch. Outside, maybe low, 2-1. Two-one count on Mason Rell, with the Berries leading 4-0. In there for strike 2, 2-2. Again, a nice-sized crowd here tonight at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Just over an hour into this ball game, moving along pretty nicely for a Thursday evening. This one's fisted back through the middle. Reyes, the second baseman, up with it, on to first in time, and 2 away. Rell jammed on that pitch, got it past the pitcher Bornstein, but Reyes makes the play, and now Nathan Houston coming up, 0 for 2 in the ball game. 4 for 26 on the season against Swift Current, so he's had troubles hitting 57's pitching, has the Melville product. And that 3/4 overhand change-up is in there for a strike. Partly cloudy skies in Saskatoon, 25 degrees Celsius. Down low, ball 1, 1-1. South-southeast wind. It's a breeze at 9 kilometers per hour. Flags ain't blowing at all atop the right field scoreboard here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 1-1 pitch to Houston, foul back to the screen, 1-2. Nathan Houston is going to Louisiana Tech University this coming winter. Ruston, Louisiana. I guess fall would be more correct to say that he's going to school in the fall. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Couple of strikeouts for Bornstein. Give him 5 in the game. A 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the 5th for the Saskatoon Berries. Second time Bornstein's had that tonight. No runs, no hits, no Swift Current errors, nobody left on base. After 5, Saskatoon 4, Swift Current no score. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Top of the order for the Swift Current 57s coming up here in the 6th inning. Swift Current trailing 4-0 to the Saskatoon Berries. Ethan Bailey, the left fielder. First baseman Casey Prychak and third baseman Wilmer Henriquez to face Merrick Yeager, the pitcher tonight. Yeager has 5 strikeouts. Unofficially has thrown 61 pitches. Pitched 62, fouled off for strike 1 by Ethan Bailey, the left fielder. A couple of groundouts for him. He's 4 for 18 head-to-head against the Berries this year. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on an inside pitch. 4 for 18 is 222 with an RBI for Ethan Bailey. Swift Current product takes that one down and away. A breaking ball from Yeager, trying to get him to chase, and he did not. 1-2 the count. Yeager kind of cocked his head to the side on one signal from Rudy Gonzalez. Comes back with a high fastball, 2-2. And again, breaking ball fouled off at the plate, and Bailey stays alive at 2-2. Ethan Bailey's in his 2nd season. He does some pitching as well as play in the outfield. He's pitched in 5 games this year, all in relief. Fouls that off, stays alive again at 2-2. Last year, he only played in the 1 game last year. Struck out both times that he was at the plate, but came back. Coming off his freshman year at Garden City Community College. So he was an affiliate player with the 57s last year, hence the only 1 game that he got into. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. 7 pitch at bat. Strikeout number 6 for Merrick Yeager here in the top of the 6th inning. They'll bring up Casey Prychak. Ground out, fly out. 0 for his last 10 over 2 games plus. 3 for 18 head-to-head against the Berries. First pitch swing popped up. And foul out of play, just over top of the third base bleachers into the plaza area, strike 1. So Prychak hitting 167 head-to-head against the Berries. Swing and a miss, strike 2, as Yeager dialed up the fastball that time and blew it by him. Prychak does have an RBI against the Berries out of his 11 this year. And that went up high. Prychak stays off of that one, takes it for a ball, 1-2. Yeager climbing the ladder with that fastball. Now he'll throw one in there and strike three swinging. 2 away here in the top of the 6th as Yeager is in command here tonight. 7 strikeouts. Shutout balls so far through 5 2/3. And now, first pitch ball. This one hit on the ground but wide of third base, foul. 1-1 to Wilmer Enriquez, who's grounded out to the first baseman Ethan Menard and struck out his last time up. Enriquez is 4 for 19 head-to-head against the Berries this year with a home run and 3 RBI. 1-1 pitch is in there for a strike, a breaking ball, 1-2. One-two pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Strikes out the side does Merrick Yeager in the top of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base. 8 strikeouts for Merrick Yeager through 6 innings of pitching. And his Berries have got him enough runs so far. He leads 4-0, and the Berries lead 4-0 over Swift Current through 5.5 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yeah. I thought you said quiet game, and you were also right. Really, I mean, compared to what we've seen, this is more of a pitcher's duel than we've had probably all season long. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Who's that? No, he left this past season. Yeah. Matt Barrett's the new guy there. But Andrew now is working for the Oilers. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Brody Bornstein back out. Unofficially, 70 pitches through 5 innings for him. Down the right field line, we see some action in the Berries bullpen. As first one up throwing is Dallin Rood. This might be the Munster Saskatchewan night out of the Berries pitching staff. Yeager from Munster, Rood from Munster. Ethan Murdoch will lead it off for the 3rd time tonight. Popped out to short in the 2nd inning, walked and scored in the 4th. He's 13 for 23 against his hometown team, the Swift Current 57s, for whom he also played back in 2023. First pitch swinging, line drive, left field, well hit, and gone! You can kiss that baby goodbye. Home run number 8 for Ethan Murdoch. A line shot over the left field fence. Make it 5-0 for Saskatoon. That's just the 4th hit of the night for the Berries, but it's the loudest one of the night by either team, that's for certain. So now Corey Waters up. He doubled his last time up. 1 for 2. First pitch down low, ball 1. Waters, 15 for 26 this season head-to-head against Swift Current, over 500 hitting. This one's hit towards short, and that one had some English on it and skipped on by the shortstop Yuji Amai into left field. I'm going to call that an error. That one was off the middle of the bat, not off the barrel. Yamai went to his right, and then the ball went back to his left after the first hop. Eluded him into left field. An error is the call, and now Westland shows bunt and takes a ball inside. Third error of the night is now Bornstein with a throw over to first to check on Corey Waters, who has 2 stolen bases without being caught this year. Westland hits a fly ball into right field. Drifting back is Braxton Vale. Comes over to his left a bit, makes the catch. And Waters back to first base. The first out of the inning recorded by the 57s and pitcher Brody Bornstein, and bring up Jalen Freeman. Singled and scored in the third inning, struck out in the fourth. 1 for 2 tonight. 8 for 19 in the season series against Swift Current, with a home run and 5 RBIs. And again, a toss over to first to check on Corey Waters. And that one is down low, ball 2. Sorry, ball 1. That was the first pitch to him. A toss over to first again. Bornstein's been very preoccupied with runners on base. Almost to the point of distraction, but not quite. Because he's pitched well otherwise. Fouled off by Freeman. 1-1 the count. But he has certainly had the attention of the base runners get to him, and have made numerous throws to first and even to second base when there's been runners there. One and one the count on Jalen Freeman with Corey Waters at first, and again a throw over. Fans starting to get on the Swift Current right-hander. Waters inches off a little further, swing and a miss by Freeman. 1-2. Waters on first, 1 away, 1-2 count on Jalen Freeman. Pitch outside, now a throw down to first by Luis Ayala, the catcher, but back in plenty of time is Corey Waters, back standing up. 2-2 the count on Freeman. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed on the changeup. Strikeout number 6 of the night for Bornstein, now 2 away. These teams will play again tomorrow night at Mitchell Field in Swift Current. Then the Berries are back home Saturday night to take on the Moose Jaw Miller Express at 6 o'clock. Saturday games at 6. Then back to Moose Jaw Sunday, and then Monday off, and then Weyburn is here next Tuesday and Wednesday. Again, a throw over to first to check on Waters before Rudy Gonzalez steps into the batter's box. Gonzalez with a key two-run single back in the 4th inning. Drove in 2 runs. And he hits a sharp grounder, and it gets through Imai into left field. Waters turns second, but will hold there. And that'll be another error on Yuji Imai, his second of the inning. It'll bring up Carter Beck. Beck is 0 for 2, hit by a pitch and scored back in the 3rd inning. Barry's center fielder. First pitch down low, ball 1. Carter Beck has hits in 12 of his last 13 games coming into tonight, hitting .380 during that time. 3 home runs and 13 RBI. Down low, and good job to catch that short hop bounce by Luis Ayala. 2-0 the count on Carter Beck. And we start to have action down the left field line in the Swift Current bullpen. Down low, 3-0 to Beck. Ethan Menard on deck. In the Swift Current bullpen, it's Jorge Mataleon warming up. 3-0 pitch coming up to Beck, and he takes all the way for a strike. 3-1 the count. Brody Bornstein glaring in for the sign. A 3-1 pitch coming to Carter Beck. On the outside corner, called strike 2. Full count. 2 away. Runners will be moving with the pitch. Corey Waters at second. Rudy Gonzalez at first. Left-handed hitting Carter Beck waiting for the delivery from the right-hand pitching Bornstein. And that one's outside. Ball 4. Loads the bases for Ethan Menard, who is due 0 for 3 tonight. Will he get a chance to face Brody Bornstein, though? It doesn't look like it. Here comes Rudy Estrella, the head coach for the Swift Current 57s. We might get a pitching change, but we'll have to wait and see. Unofficially, 87 pitches in the game for Brody Bornstein, and we see the man in the bullpens making his way slowly towards the dugout, waiting for the call, but nothing as of yet, as here comes home plate umpire Mark Clark, and they're telling him one more batter. That's the signal down to the bullpen from the head coaches. One more batter. Well, we'll see whether this strategy works for Swift Current to get out of this one. The leader in home runs and in batting average in the league coming into tonight is at the plate with the bases loaded and 2 away. Ethan Menard, first pitch inside with a breaking ball, ball 1. University of Texas at Tyler for Ethan Menard. Hit .315 this past college season. Takes a pitch down low, 2-0. Bornstein digging himself a bit of a hole here at this at-bat. He's got to come in with a pitch for a strike. And does on the outside corner, 2-1. Menard thought it was outside. He'll have to recollect himself here and come up with the pitch that he wants. 2-1 count. Hit in the air, but in the ballpark, Jose Ayala into right center field to make the catch and end the inning. The Berries get a run on a solo home run to lead off the bottom of the 6th from Ethan Murdoch. That was the only hit they had. 2 errors by Swift Current, and the bases were left loaded, so 3 men left on base. After 6, it is Saskatoon 5 and Swift Current no score as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. New pitcher. New pitcher for the Berries.
Okay. You want me to do what?
Nothing. Just saying.
Okay, I just added 3 more LEDs here.
Okay, good. Yep. All right, top of the 7th inning upcoming. Here's your unofficial line score through 6 for the Saskatoon Berries. 5 runs on 4 hits. They have not committed an error. They've left 6 runners on base. For the Swift Current 57s, no runs on 2 hits. They've committed 4 errors. They've left 3 runners on base. And the Berries are making a pitching change. Merrick Yeager, with his tied for his longest outing of the season, 6 innings, going to be replaced by Dallin Rood, also from Munster, Saskatchewan. Rood will make his 11th appearance of the year, all in relief. 3 wins, 1 save, no losses, an ERA of 3.50. His first pitch to Jose Ayala is in for a strike. Ayala, 0 for 2, popped out to second, struck out but reached first on a pass ball. Down low, 1-1. Rood throws similar to the Swift Current starting pitcher Brody Bornstein with that 3/4 overhand delivery. More sidearm actually than anything else, and that's in for a strike, 1-2. Rood's pitched 18 innings in his 10 previous appearances, allowed 19 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, struck out 18 and walked 4. A 1 hopper to Nathan Houston at short. The throw on to first and dug out by Ethan Menard for the out. Good pick at first base by Menard for the first out of the top of the 7th inning. So Dallin Rood into the game for the Berries at pitcher. 6'1", 170-pound right-hander coming off his freshman season at Colby Community College. Now he'll face Braxton Vale, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Singled his last time up and hits a line drive into right field. Murdoch coming on, makes the catch. He slid on his backside and came up with the ball just before it hit the ground. Fabulous play by Ethan Murdoch, who does it with the bat as well in the previous half inning with a solo home run, and now takes away a hit from Braxton Vale, who can only smile and chuckle about his lack of good fortune on that play. He hit the ball well. And a first pitch strike to Luis Ayala, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Luis Ayala 4 for 19 against the Berries. This one hit down the right field side, slicing. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Murdoch will collect it just in foul territory and get the ball back into the infield. Luis Ayala holds up at first with just the 3rd hit of the night for the Swift Current 57s. It'll bring up second baseman Enrique Reyes, who will retrieve the bat of Luis Ayala and throw it back across. WCBL teams don't travel a bat boy, I guess. That's not unusual. Enrique Reyes, mentioned 0 for 2, is 0 for 6 against the Berries. Rood with a toss over to first to check on Luis Ayala. Dallin Rood was an AP player last year with the Berries, got into a couple of games. Down low, ball 1 to Reyes. Rood's last outing was a 3-inning relief stint in Okotoks back on the 15th of July. The Berries 11-8 win a week ago Tuesday. Fastball in for a strike, 1-1. In those 3 innings, he allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, struck out 3, didn't walk anybody. Down low, blocked by Gonzalez, who looked around for a second with the ball at his feet, and Luis Ayala does not advance. This is Rood's 3rd appearance this year against Swift Current, a couple of 1-inning outings back on June 2nd. Here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, he was credited with the win in relief. And then pitched 5 days later in Swift Current as Reyes fouls the pitch off, and it's 2-2. In a 10-5 win over the 57s in Swift Current, Rood pitched a clean inning, striking out 2. He had a clean inning back on June 2nd for the win. He has a man on here and 2 outs as Reyes Fouls off the off-speed pitch and stays alive at 2-2. Enrique Reyes from Mississauga, Ontario. A throw over to first to check on Luis Ayala, who does have 4 stolen bases for a catcher. Foul back to the screen. Reyes stays alive. DH Silas Hilton on deck. Deuces wild across the top line of the Next Gen Patch scoreboard here at Cairns Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning. 5-0 Saskatoon with the lead on Swift Current. Rude, a throw over to first. Menard wasn't holding. Was a couple of steps off the bag, and Ayala able to get back safely. And this one gets away from Gonzalez, down low. Full count, and advancing to second is Luis Ayala. On probably a pass ball, it looked like. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Enrique Reyes. Trying to do some damage against Dallin Root and the Saskatoon Berries. Big lead off second for Ayala and fouled off into the parking lot over top of the third base bleachers. Root wasn't even looking back. Luis Ayala just walked off the bag and kept on moving towards third as Root walked into his windup. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the end of the inning. 1 hit for Swift Current in the top of the 7th inning. No runs, though. 1 runner left on base. No Berries errors. After 6.5 as we head to the 7th inning stretch, it's the Saskatoon Berries 5 and the Swift Current 57's no score as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the 7th inning upcoming here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Meat of the order for the Berries coming up. The numbers 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Mason Rell, the third baseman. Nathan Houston, the shortstop. And right fielder Ethan Murdoch. To face Brody Bornstein, who goes back out for the 7th inning. Unofficially 91 pitches for him, but Rudy Estrella wants his starter to go as long as he can, for as long as he can be effective. And for the most part, Bornstein has been effective. 3 out of the 5 runs allowed are earned tonight. He struck out 6 in 6 innings. Couple of walks. So he's been pretty good. Brody Bornstein out of Orinda, California. Listed on the roster is named Broderick Bornstein. I'm sure Mum would appreciate that more, but the lineup card that Rudy Estrella sent over said Brody. So I guess Broderick can be Brody. First pitch from Broderick Bornstein is a strike to Mason Rell. Rell is 0 for 3. Reached on an error in the first inning, a couple of ground outs otherwise. Hit on the ground, and it gets past Wilmer Enriquez, who dives to his left into left field. And a base hit for Mason Rell. 5th hit of the game for the Saskatoon Berries. And Rell extends his hitting streak to 5 games. Hitting .500 now, and that's going to be it now. Rudy Estrella coming out, and I believe we are indeed going to get a pitching change. And yes, indeed, we will. So he brought Bornstein out, try to get as many outs as he can. And as soon as he gave up a hit, that was going to be it for him. And so we're going to get a pitching change now. And we'll get to the information on the new pitcher, Jorge Mazzaleon, here momentarily. Just got to get to the old website here and scroll it up and tell you more about Jorge Mazzaleon, making his 7th appearance of the season, 6th time out of the bullpen. 1 loss, an 8.37 earned run average. He's pitched 9 2/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 12 runs, 9 of them earned, struck out 11, walked 9. Jorge Mazzaleon from Toronto, coming off his sophomore year at McPherson College. 5'10", 155-pound right-hander. Jorge Mazzaleon. Coming into the ball game to pitch in place of Brody Bornstein, who goes 6+ innings. And again, only allowed 5 hits. So far, he's given up 5 runs, 3 of them earned. Struck out 6. Let's see, how many did he walk? He had hit a batter, hit Carter Beck. He walked 2, hit a batter. He faced 30 batters in the game and threw unofficially 93 pitches. So Brody Bornstein giving way to Jorge Mazzaleon. Meanwhile, on the other side, Merrick Yeager with a 6-inning outing, allowing just 2 hits, no runs. He struck out 8 and didn't walk anybody. A solid night for Munster product Merrick Yeager. But now, here in the bottom of the 7th inning, taking off first pitch, Rell for second to throw down. He's in there safely. Pitch outside to Nathan Houston, ball 1, as Mason Rell with his 11th stolen base of the year. So now he's on second. That's the 3rd stolen base of the game for the Berries as a team. And Mazzaleon's pitch to Houston is in for a strike, 1-1. Yeah, my memory still is good. Rell's 11th steal without being caught this season. 1-1 pitch to Nathan Houston. Off the glove of Ayala, in behind him, and Rell will trot down to third with the passed ball. So now a runner on third with nobody out for the Berries. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Houston's 0 for 3 tonight. Two-one pitch is low. Ball 3, 3-1. Infield in for Swift Current. That pitch is on the inside corner. Strike 2. Well, I saw team president Steve Hildebrand up here Wonder if he passed along an attendance figure. May have to get out the old cell phone and text him. 3-2 pitch inside, ball 4. Houston advances to first, and it'll bring up Ethan Murdoch, who again hit a line drive home run over top of the left field fence his last time up. Easily the hardest hit ball of the night. Middle infielders play back halfway. Pitch outside to Murdoch as Houston took 2 hard steps towards second and put on the brakes. Ball 1. He's going this time, and the ball past Ayala to the screen. In to score is Rell, and all the way around to third is Nathan Houston. So make it 6-0 on the wild pitch. And Houston, who was stealing second, gets around to third on the wild pitch. And the infield in again. Up high to Murdoch, and it's 3-0 on the right fielder with Corey Waters, the DH, on deck. And taking all the way for a strike, 3-1. Three-one pitch inside, ball 4. Mazzaleone, we've said it with his numbers, has quite a few walks to go along with some decent strikeout numbers. Oh my. There's our largest crowd of the season tonight. 2,258. And now Rudy Estrella, the head coach for Swift Current, coming out. Luis Ayala, the catcher, is shaking his head and saying something. I don't know if it's Luis Ayala with the problem. It might be the catcher who's feeling some discomfort, and yeah, he's going to come out of the game. Luis Ayala feeling the effects of something. And so now, new catcher going to have to come into the ball game, and I'd have to imagine that'll be Juan Almonte down the right field line, or down the left field line, who's been helping out with warming up pitchers, and now he'll come into the game. Luis Ayala coming out. Juan Almonte coming into the ball game, coming off his junior year at Bluefield University from San Juan, Puerto Rico. He'll get a few chances to catch a couple of tosses from Jorge Mazzaleone before pitching to Corey Waters here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 run in, making it 6-0 for the Berries. Runners on first and third with nobody out. And Corey Waters at the plate. First pitch inside, ball 1. Shortstop Imai, second baseman Reyes playing halfway. Third baseman Henriquez is even with the bag at third. Inside again, Waters had to jump back, 2-0 the count. Corey Waters 1 for 3 tonight, doubled and scored in the 4th inning. Heading for second base is Murdoch. The throw by Almonte goes all the way through, but he steals it easily. And holding his spot at third base is Nathan Houston. So second and third now, with nobody out in the bottom of the seventh inning. A 3-0 pitch upcoming to Corey Waters. And he fouled that off. Had the green light to hit. 3-0 to swing away. 3-1 the count. And that one's up and away, ball 4. And Jorge Mazzaleon has issued 3 walks to 3 batters since coming on in relief of Brody Bornstein. Cooper Westland to the plate now for the Berries. Westland is 0 for 3 this evening. He is on a 9-game hitting streak coming into tonight. First pitch, breaking ball upstairs, ball 1. Westland 16 for his last 30 with 2 RBI. Fouls one back to the screen, strike 1, 1-1. Game slowing down because of the walks here in this inning. Base is loaded, nobody out. Westland hits one sharply. Amai takes it on the short hop to second for 1, over to first, double play. Run scores, but no RBI for Cooper Westland. Make it 7-0. Murdoch to third, and a double play, 6-4-3. And Jalen Freeman coming up. So Jalen Freeman up to bat with a runner on third base, that being Ethan Murdoch. First pitch down low, ball 1. One 0 pitch. Freeman fouls it off. That's into the parking lot over top of the third base bleachers here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. One pitch on the inside corner, strike 2, 1-2. We've got Jorge Mazzaleon 1 pitch away from getting out of it. 1-2 outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rudy Gonzalez, the catcher, on deck. Line shot, left field, but right at Ethan Bailey. He'll make the catch, and that ends the inning. Well hit by Freeman, but right at the left fielder Bailey. Berries score a couple of runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. On 1 hit, there were no Swift Current errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 7 innings, Saskatoon 7, Swift Current no score. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Top of the 8th inning, Dallin Rude back out to pitch for the Saskatoon Berries. Going into a second inning of relief in place of Merrick Yeager. $22.58 the attendance tonight. Silas Hilton will lead it off, the number 8 hitter in the lineup for Swift Current. 1 for 2, singled and lined out to the third baseman. Both times first pitch swinging. Meanwhile, Mark Clark is holding things up because down the third base side and outside the ballpark there is a fire truck with lights going. I'm not sure what the problem is, but they think there may be something happening over at Lecos Field next door, because that's about where they are, near the entrance to that ballpark. But for now, Mark Clark wants to hold things up. Meanwhile, the discussion here with Joe Carnahan, the head coach of the Berries, and Scott Mostaway, the crew chief and first base umpire for tonight, along with first base coach for Swift Current, Sean Lee. A discussion going on outside the Berries dugout about what's going on here at the ballpark. So we have a bit of a delay here. Everybody's ready to go, but concerned about what's going on down the left field line outside the ballpark with the fire truck here. Meanwhile, down the left field line in the Swift Current bullpen, we have action as warming up is 21. Brant Spencer, who was said to be inactive, but that may not be the case. Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan product out of the Badlands Baseball Academy. Might be active now. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for this inning to get started, as Mark Clark is over chatting with somebody. Grabbed a gulp of water and now heading back towards home plate, so maybe we will get started again here right away. And now Mark Clark talking with Silas Hilton, the upcoming batter, about why we're in a bit of a delay here. We're just about to hit 2 hours into this game tonight, as it's hit 9 o'clock, and now Silas Hilton is heading back towards the Swift Current dugout. So we're in a holding pattern here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field while we try to figure out what's going out down the line with this fire truck in the vicinity. So we got nothing happening here right now. 7-0. Berries with the lead. Again, unofficially, your line score through 7 innings. For the Berries, 7 runs on 5 hits. They have not committed an error, and they've left 7 runners on base. For Swift Current, no runs on 3 hits. They've committed 4 errors and left 4 runners on base. We do have enough to have an official game here if we should happen to need to stop it because of whatever's going on. But it's outside the ballpark, so I don't know what the issue is here. But for now, like I say, we're in a bit of a holding pattern while everybody's throwing the ball around, and there's warm-ups, and batters are taking imaginary cuts in the batter's box waiting for things to get started again. Let's take a look at Western Canadian Baseball League out-of-town scores for tonight. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Lethbridge at home leads Regina 5-3. In the bottom of the 5th tonight in Moose Jaw, Medicine Hat with an 8-2 lead on the Miller Express. Medicine Hat leads the Miller Express 8-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Doubleheader action. Energy City beats Sylvan Lake 9-1 in the first game. Second game tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Brooks defeated Fort McMurray 8-5 in the first game of a twin bill. In the second game, Fort McMurray leads Brooks by a score of 2-1, again in the bottom of the 2nd inning. As we look like we're ready to resume play, Silas Hilton coming to bat, facing Dallin Rude. First pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. One strike pitch. Hit back through the box. Big room service hop at second. Westland to throw over in time and one away. It'll bring up the shortstop, UGMI, who's 0 for 2 and had a tough night in the field with 3 errors. Partly cloudy in Saskatoon as we pass 9 o'clock, 22 degrees Celsius. East-southeast wind now at 11 kilometers per hour. Rude's first pitch in for a strike. Imai 0 for 6 head-to-head against the Berries this year. This one's lined and foul, wide of third on an off-speed offering. 0-2 the count on Imai. I think Joe Carnahan would like his pitchers to throw nothing but heat to this guy. Although he throws a breaking pitch there, trying to get him to chase. And it's ball 1, 1-2. Dallin Rude, 1-2 delivery to Mai. Down low, 2-2 the count. Top of the order, Ethan Bailey on deck for Swift Current. Trailing 7-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. They're chasing down a ball that got free out of the Swift Current left field bullpen. Now ready to go. 2-2 pitch is down low. Full count. So suddenly MI goes from down 0-2 to a full count with this at bat. Dallin Rude's 3-2 pitch. Squibbed back wide of the pitcher. Collected at second by Westland. On to first in time. 2 away. So now Ethan Bailey to the plate, 0 for 3. Couple of ground outs and a strikeout for the Swift Current product. That batting average dipping now below 250 on the year with his 0 for 3. Breaking pitch down and away, ball 1. Little looper down the right field side into right field for a base hit. Hit number 4 of the night for Swift Current. Bailey 1 for 4 on the evening. His 15th base hit of the year. It'll bring up Casey Prychak, the first baseman, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Dallin Rude out of the stretch. First pitch hit on the ground. That'll get through into left field between third baseman Rell and shortstop Houston. And a couple of 2-out singles for Swift Current. Get men on first and second with 2 away for Wilmer Enriquez. And down the right field line, Clay Mixon starts to loosen up in the Berries bullpen. So action down both foul lines in the outfield bullpens. Clay Mixon for the Berries and for Swift Current, Brant Spencer, although he has stopped throwing. Enriquez, first pitch swinging, pops it up. In behind third base, Mason Rell will make the catch, and that's an inning. No runs, 2 hits, no Berries errors, 2 runners left on base for the 57s in the top of the 8th inning. After 7.5, it's Saskatoon 7 and Swift Current no score as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Let me have a look. Yep. Mm-hmm. New pitcher coming into the ball game here into the bottom of the 8th inning for the Swift Current 57s. It'll be Brant Spencer coming on, taking over. He's the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Swift Current 57s. Brody Bornstein started, went 6+ innings. Jorge Mazzaleone finished off the 7th inning, and now in the 8th, he'll face Rudy Gonzalez, Carter Beck, and Ethan Menard. Gonzalez 1 for 3, a single and 2 runs batted in as Gonzalez fouls the first pitch back for a strike. Let's find out a little bit more about Brant Spencer here when we get an opportunity. Upstairs and a swing and a miss by Gonzalez, up in the eyes it looked like. 0-2 the count on the Berries catcher. Spencer delivers. This one's hit back up the middle. Imai juggles it, can't come up with it, and it's Enrique Reyes who ends up with the ball. And making it safely to first base is Rudy Gonzalez for the 2nd time because of an error on Yuji Imai, his 4th error on his own and 5th of the night for the Swift Current 57s. So a pinch hitter here now for the Berries. Turner Zdunich will hit in place of Carter Beck. First pitch is inside, ball 1. For Spencer, this is his 2nd appearance of the season. 1 clean inning, striking out 1 batter. No record, no ERA, no hits allowed, no runs allowed. 1 strikeout, no walk. Down and in to Zdunich, 2-0. So Turner Zdunich into the game as a pinch hitter. He'll stay in the game, and we'll see some movement in the outfield. Probably Zdunich will go to left field and Jalen Freeman into center. Pitch up high to Zdunich. 3-0 the count. Turner Zdunich from High River, Alberta takes a 3-0 pitch in there for a strike. 3-1. 3-1 pitch lined into right field. Braxton Vale going back. They make the catch. And back to first base is Rudy Gonzalez. Well hit ball by Zdunich. Almost got over the head of Braxton Vale, who went back on it, was able to reach up and make the grab and denies Zdunich a hit. He was only hitting 158 coming into that at bat, 9 for 57 with 5 RBIs. So now Ethan Menard, 0 for 4 tonight. First pitch swinging, well hit, left field, going back, and it is up, and away! A home run to extend the hitting streak to 17 games and extend his league-leading home run total to a dozen. Ethan Menard with a 2-run home run in front of family here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field makes it 9-0 for Saskatoon. Two RBIs give him 37 on the year. I have a funny feeling Ethan knew that he had a hitting streak on the line there, because he was pretty excited when he rounded first base and that ball disappeared over the left field fence. First pitch strike to Mason Rell. He's 1 for 4, singled, stole a base, and scored on a wild pitch last inning. Popped up, foul territory, going over to have a look is Casey Prychak, but that's beyond the boundary fence into the crowd down the right field side. Quickly 2 strikes on Mason Rell. Another unearned run given up by the 57s tonight. Two strike pitches down low, 1 and 2. Nathan Houston on deck. The hit last time up for Rell extended his hitting streak to 5 games. That ball gets away from the catcher to the backstop. Nobody on base, though. 2 and 2 the count. Brant Spencer ready to deliver. 2-2 pitch. Line drive, left center field. Jorge Ayala coming over and does not have it. He'll toss it back into the infield, and Rell is on with a base hit. Jose Ayala laid out in center field trying to make the catch and just couldn't quite come up with it. So Rell is on base. Back-to-back singles for him and back-to-back at-bats. And now Nathan Houston swings and fouls the pitch off. Strike 1. Houston 0 for 3. Walked, stole a base, and came home on a double play ball last inning. One strike to count on him. Spencer's pitch. Houston lines it into right field, a base hit. Rell will go station to station, stop up at second base. 3 successive hits for the Berries here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Ethan Murdoch to the plate. Murdoch, 1 for 2. Homered to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Walked a couple of times, has a stolen base, as his success against his hometown team continues. Takes a first pitch breaking ball strike. Corey Waters on deck. Rell at second, Houston at first. On the outside corner to Ethan Murdoch. 2 strikes on him, falling behind. Low and away with a breaking pitch, 1 and 2. Berries have put a few deuces up on the scoreboard tonight. 2-run 3rd, 4th, 7th, and here in the 8th inning, but searching for more here in the bottom of the 8th with a 9-0 lead. A swing and a foul tip strikeout. Spencer gets him 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th, and now Corey Waters, who's 1 for 3, doubled and scored in the 4th inning. Walked his last time up in the 7th. Waters came into the game hitting .376. 8th place in the league in batting average. Breaking ball in for a strike from Brant Spencer. Cooper Westland on deck, hoping to get an at-bat. Do something about trying. Now, time is called, and a balk. Spencer started his delivery and stopped it, but you can't do. I mean, you can fake throwing to second or third, but you actually have to look in that direction before you do the fake. Foul back to the screen by Waters, 0-2. Brant Spencer out of the full windup, the right-hander for the Swift Current 57s. Two-strike pitch. Line drive right field. Braxton Vale going back. He'll make the catch. A couple of good catches from Braxton Vale in this half inning, helping to retire the side. But another couple of runs for the Berries on the home run by Ethan Menard to extend his hitting streak to 17 games, his 12th home run of the year. 3 hits for the Berries, 1 Swift Current error, and 2 runners left on base. After 8, Saskatoon 9, Swift Current no score. You're listening, or you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yeah, I'm going to look at it here right away. Oh, you're doing it fine. Look at you go. You're good. Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Yes, sweetie. We have a new pitcher into the ball game for the Saskatoon Berries to wrap things up here in the top of the 9th inning. Adam Beeman coming on. Adam Beeman, one of the Saskatoon contingent with the Berries, one of 5 Saskatoonians on the main roster. Beeman will make his 11th appearance of the season, 10th time out of the bullpen. He has a win and a loss, a 4.67 earned run average. He's pitched 17 in the 3rd innings, has allowed 16 hits, 9 runs, all earned, struck out 17, and walked 13. Adam Beeman from Saskatoon, coming off his freshman year at Central Arizona College. 6'4", 220-pound right-hander. In to pitch the top of the 9th inning to the middle third of the Swift Current order. First up, Jose Ayala. First pitch swinging, fouls it back, strike 1. Ayala 0 for 3 tonight. He has a 4-game hitting streak on the line. Has been good against the Berries. He takes a called strike. Hitting above 333, 9 for 26 on the year with 3 home runs and 7 RBI head-to-head against the Berries. Beeman's 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's 10 strikeouts that the Berries have managed against the Swift Current 57s. Berries needed to strike out 12 Swift Current batters tonight in order for somebody in the crowd to win a prize. Well, they can still get there if they strike out 2 more this inning. Beeman's first pitch to Braxton Vale is down low, ball 1. Vale 1 for 3. Singled in the 4th inning, robbed of a hit his last time up. Great sliding catch by Ethan Murdoch in right field. Popped up. Foul territory. Coming over is Nathan Houston, the shortstop, and he doesn't make the catch. Ran a long way for it, but couldn't squeeze the ball. 1-1 the count on Braxton Vale. Braxton Vale will come back to the batter's box. He was around first, heading for second. I don't think he knew where the ball was. Luis Ayala, he won't be him. It'll be Jose Almonte, who took over as the catcher back in the bottom of the seventh inning. Low and away to Vale, 2-1. Starting to get shorter days. Sun's already set. Outside, 3-1. It's 9:23 on a Thursday evening. Game's moved along pretty well. 2 hours and 22 minutes as it stands right now. And that's with a delay. As that pitch is upstairs, ball 4. Vale draws a walk. So now it'll be Juan Almonte, the catcher, coming up for the first time for Swift Current. He came in again for Luis Ayala defensively. Almonte hitting .238. Vale with a big lead, and the first pitch hits him. So Vale will advance to second. Adam Beeman hits Juan Almonte, so first and second with one away. Almonte was 5 for 21 this season, playing in just his 12th game with 3 RBI, and now it brings up Enrique Reyes, who's batted left-handed all night long and now is going to hit right-handed against the right-handed pitcher. Up high, ball 1. Enrique Reyes 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He is a switch hitter, but he's going against conventional thought here by hitting right against the right-hander. Fouls this one into the crowd down the right field line. 1-1 the count. Silas Hilton, the DH, is on deck for Swift Current as they look to break through and prevent being shut out here tonight. It's 9-0 in the top of the 9th inning. And now Reyes calls for time. Barry's getting set to charge the field here with another victory if they can come up with it. They're in pretty good shape. 9-0 up. Top of the 9th inning. 1 away, 2 men on. Adam Beeman's 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. Reyes back into the right-hand batter's box. Beeman at the belt, 2-1 pitch upcoming. And out down low, 3-1. Even in the top of the 9th with a 9-run lead, the umpires in the crowd aren't happy. Braxton Vale signaling pitches, seeing what he sees. Swing and a miss. That's strike 2. I think Reyes doesn't know what the count is, but he's out, I guess. I thought it was 3-1, but should be 3-2 now, but oh well, strikeout. Apparently. So Silas Hilton, somewhere along the line, we had a ball that was really a strike. Knocked me over with a curveball. Last chance. Silas Hilton fouls the first pitch back for a strike. Hilton's 1 for 3 tonight. singled in the third inning. Was the first base hit of the night for either team. Beeman's one strike pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. Fans clapping. 2,258, anticipating ball game being over right now. Two-strike pitch, swung on and missed, strike three. Beeman strikes out the side. 12 strikeouts as a team for the Berries tonight. Somebody's winning themselves a nice prize here tonight at the ballpark, and the Berries have themselves their 38th win of the season against 7 losses. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors. 2 runners left on base for Swift Current in the top of the 9th inning. Your final tonight, the Saskatoon Berries 9, the Swift Current 57s nothing. We'll have the final totals for you when we come back in a moment as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. All right, another victory at home for the Saskatoon Berries tonight. They defeat the Swift Current 57s 9-0. Here are your final unofficial totals from tonight's game. For the Saskatoon Berries, 9 runs on 8 hits. They did not commit an error. They left 9 runners on base. For the Swift Current 57s, no runs on 5 hits. They committed 5 errors.